All right, let's do a tour of Carnival Firenze. We are going to start in the Medici Restaurant. This is in the Atrium Lobby area. This is for the early and late dining. So you're going to come in here, you'll see some Italian themes. It is somewhat different to Venezia. They call this the Marco Polo one there, I believe. You've got a couple of statues there. But specifically, the one at the back is very different because it doesn't have the gondola that they do on Venezia, which was a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. But again, this is where you will do the early and late dining. And it is called the Medici Restaurant. And then we're going to come out into the lobby area, or as they like to call it, the Plaza del Duomo. And straight ahead there you have the Atrium Bar. It's a very similar layout to the Vista class ships, but a lot of differences inside, as you're going to see if you're familiar with those ships. On the left there you have Carnival Adventures. And if you come across here, we're going to come up to guest services in a second. Right there. There's a change machine there, or you can check your account on that machine as well. But probably better to do it on your hub, on your phone in private. So that is pretty much all we have on deck 3. But if you come up here, you've got the Circle O2. Circle C, sorry, and Club O2, Circle O2, Circle C and Club O2. Let's get that correct. And now we're going to go up to deck 4. And the first thing we have here is the theatre called the Teatro Rosso. One thing you'll notice is the seating covers are very different. Nice and plush. It's trying to give that Mediterranean feel, Italian feel. Right there. This is where later in the week I was selected to go up for Deal or No Deal. How special is that? The Bar Rosso there. Your lobby bar, sorry, your theatre bar. So as we come back out from there, you're going to see some shops. Also on the opposite this side, we have the Dreams Studio. One of them is here as well. Some more shops here. You got your cherry on top and everything up here. And then we are entering the casino right now. This is the smoking casino, obviously the largest of the two. There is a non-smoking casino I'll show you in a second. No bar in these casinos. You have to wait for the bartenders to come around, and I'll be honest, they don't come around that often. So you have to keep your eyes peeled for them often and call them over if you need them. There's a machine there on the left where you can cash in your winnings rather than get in line at the main office desk or the terminal. Kiosk, whatever you want to call it. But we'll come down here and I'll show you the non-smoking casino. It is right here. Right there, so much smaller, but non-smoking, if that is what you wish, which a lot of people do. These ceilings are very low, so it can get very smoky. There's also an entrance in there you can come through from the main casino. Yeah, these ceilings are very low, so it can feel very smoky in there if you're not in the like of smoke, shall we say. That was very bad English, but you know what I mean. So we're going to keep coming down here. Again, we are on deck 4 right now. And on the right hand side we have the Heroes Tribute Bar with your sports and everything in there. Sometimes they do have a poker table in here on the left, but not in this one. It's usually right there. And then here we have the art gallery. I don't know what the giveaway is. The sign or the pictures. And then right after that, on the right hand side here, we have the Limelight Lounge for the comedy club. It's a decent sized comedy club. You can get a lot of people in here. So do not panic if you're in line and you're almost at the casino. You are going to get a good seat. Plenty of seating in here, which is needed because the comedians are always very, well, nearly always. Sometimes they're not. I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, they are very good. They can't all be home runs, right? Now, as we come to the end of here, we're going to come to the Your Time Dining. There are a couple of conference rooms in these little areas there. But the Your Time Dining restaurant is called the Michelangelo Restaurant. So that's going to be right in here. We are filming this very early in the morning, which is why it's so empty. You're going to be a few more people when we get to the upper decks, but for now we have an empty ship. And it does go down to deck 3 as well. So we're up on deck 4. I feel like I may have said the lower level. I lied. This is the upper level, and now we are going down to the lower level. Very confusing doing these talkovers. Again, no gondola, unfortunately. But still a definite Italian feel to these restaurants. Nice large table there if you have a big group. And you'll see there was a big statue there as well. So that is the Michelangelo. The elevators are the smart elevators. I'll show you how they work shortly. Down there is another conference room and a side entrance to the Limelight Lounge, the comedy club, which is rarely open. They typically open that at the end of the show so they can, you know, disperse people evenly, as it were. But we're going to head up to deck 5 now. And we are heading into the Terrazza Area. This is the equivalent of the Havana on the Vista class ships. This is the Moda Lounge, or Moda Bar and Lounge, where they'll have all the Latin music and all that good stuff. Typically during the day, this is fairly quiet. So if you want to get away and have a drink in a quiet area, this would be the place to come. As long as they're not doing some sort of event, it's typically pretty empty here. They also do a buffet for the Terrazza people. I'll be doing a separate video just on the Terrazza area, including some cabin videos. That'll be coming out shortly, probably next week. Although you won't care about that if you're watching this in 6 months. But this is the outside area. You're supposed to have a wristband to come out here, but I'm a rebel without a cause, so I just walked out. This is very different from the Havana area in that there is no pool. There are a couple of hot tubs, but there are also some really nice lounging areas, as you can see. There's a hot tub on either side. Your Terrazza cabanas, equivalent your Havana cabanas, are going to be down there and also on the other side. And then your other Havana staterooms are up there. There's the overlook. Some of the seating outside. You need to be 12 years of age and up to be in here. Now, I'm not sure, but sometimes on these ships in the evening, they do allow other people outside. You'll have to check when you get on board. But I know during the day, for definite, it's only Terrazza people. But if you have a big group and you're lucky enough to get one of these little kind of cabana areas during the day, that's very nice and relaxing. And as I said, you have the hot tubs right there. And some more seating at the front here. Really nice for sailaways and all that good stuff. And again, I'm going to do a separate video on just this area, and I was able to get in and take video of pretty much every Terrazza cabin type as well. We've been in the Terrazza once before on the Venezia, and they did have once each cruise you could go into the Steakhouse for a special lunch. I'm not sure if they still do that, Hopefully they do, because that's very nice. But they do a special buffet for you in the mornings, as I walk through all the lovely crew getting ready for it, putting out the chairs. So that was the Terrazza area. Now we're heading back down deck 5. And after this, we'll head up to the Lido area and show you all that good stuff as well. So we're going to hang to the right here, and there's the elevators again. On the right and left side, you'll see the entrance to the staterooms for the Havana area, for the Havana Cabanas. This is the Tuscan Lounge. There's the Tuscan Bar. They also do coffee there in the morning. And over on the left here, they have the area where they do the band playing, they do the karaoke and everything in here. Now in the far right hand side, there are some secret restrooms, but there's also an empanada stand that they sell for $1 every night, $1, a couple of dollars. You can buy empanadas there. This is the Pixels Gallery. It was always empty because nobody knew it was there, but it was they were very good. I bought some. So again, this is Pixels, couple of shops. Now this is the Frizzante bar. More like, they call it bubbles, you know, they'll do like champagne and beers and stuff like that there primarily. Some seating area there. And then here is Il Vaggio. This is the Italian restaurant on board. Not Cucina del Capitano, it's a bit more high end, as you can see. Very nice restaurant. They were all getting ready and set up, so I didn't want to spend too much time in there. Very aware of how hard the crew work to get the ship ready for the day, so I try not to interfere with them as much as possible. But if you come out here and go off to the right, there is an outdoor restaurant during the day. It's free. This is called La Strada Grill. It's kind of the equivalent of like the barbecue, but with an Italian feel. So you can get meatball subs and all sorts of things out here. And I will say, I had it on day one. The quality of food, for me at least, was very good. Better than the normal barbecue I see. So again, this is La Strada Grill. And I'll be doing a separate video as well on all the bars, and a separate one on all the restaurants too. So look out for those. But they'll have the menu posted. Some changes every day, but typically, you know, you see Irish meatball, pork pancetta sandwich, and a lot of good stuff. And I, like I said, for me at least, the quality was really good. I did really enjoy it. So I can recommend that. Suit Guy stamp of approval for what it's worth. Everybody's different. So I hate people that say this is the best, you have to do it. Although Gigi's is the best. I'm just kidding. For me it is. Everybody is different. So take people's recommendations with a pinch of salt. Try it and see if you like it. So we're going to keep heading down here. A couple more shops for you. Now on the left, coming up here, we have the Amari Bar, which is the equivalent of the Alchemy Bar. Right there. Have some Italian special drinks on there. And then on the left here we have the Steakhouse. So this is a very similar layout to like the Panorama, Vista, Horizon. Just some of the names are different. Here's the Steakhouse. Decent sized. You'll see you're looking down into the casino there, but it's not noisy from the casino. The noise is from people talking all night. Now on the opposite side here on the right, you have Bonsai Sushi. Typically open from like 12 to 12, so it's open for a good long time. No appointments needed here, you just walk up and walk in. Not free, but reasonably priced in my opinion. I do like the Bonsai Sushi. I love the rock shrimp. But again, just me, not telling you you have to do that. They don't have rock shrimp on every sushi, just on some of the newer ships. So I do like it. And here is the bonsai teppanyaki. You'll notice there are 4 teppenyakis in this one. Very often they only have 3. But they made this one slightly larger. Because on some of the Vista class ships, this is the piano bar. Here it's kind of backwards. The piano bar is on the opposite side, as you're about to see. I couldn't get in to sit at piano bar player. It was packed all week. I heard stories that she was very, very good. Her name was Elizabeth, but I never got the chance to sit and watch and enjoy her. I walked in one night, it was jam-packed, so I kind of left. But I wish I'd gone earlier and watched her. So I do enjoy a good piano bar session. Here's some more shops. The main fun shop area. Now on the left hand side, I went the wrong way. On the left hand side, you can just see in the corner over there, they do have the salon. So, and here we are looking back down into the lobby bar area. So this is deck 5, there's deck 4, and then down there to deck 3. Yeah, they did have the Cloud9 salon on this floor on the opposite side, but oops, forgot to video that. My bad. And this is the upper level of the theatre, the Teatro Rosso. And then we are going to head up to deck 10, where I'll give you an example of how the elevators work on this ship. They are called smart elevators. So this is the upper level of the theatre. That was a pretty good week for me, as well as the Deal or No Deal. I was actually the longest cruised person on the ship this week, which was kind of nice. Nobody, the 5,300 people on board, had cruised more days than me, which is very rare because I've cruised a lot, but nowhere near as many as people normally do. So I was quite surprised, but not gonna lie, it was a bit of a bucket list thing for me. 475 days at this point. So these are the smart elevators. You have these maps everywhere showing you where you want to go. But if you want to use the elevator, you don't just select the floor and wait for one to come. You go to these keypads over here. You'll hit on the keypad, you'll select your floor, and you need to hit it for each person. So it's going to tell me it's going to be elevator Q. So I'm going to go to elevator Q, and it's going to take me to that deck. If there were 2 of us, you have to do that twice. If there were 3, you have to do it 3, and so on. So here I am, I'm going into elevator Q. Don't have any buttons to hit inside, as you'll see, because it's going to just take me to deck 10. Here I am in my sexy outfit, no suits at 6 in the morning. And we're going to come out on deck 10 and continue our tour. This is a true one-shot video. Now, most of the time this has a roof, and most of the time the roof is covered. Not really seen it where it's not. So it can get quite hot in here if you're not careful, because the roof can be a sort of a heat trap or sun trap. But you'll see this is very different to what you've seen before. So we're going to come out here. And this is the main Lido area, but incredibly different from what you're used to. On the right there, we have Rococco's bar. On the left here, we have actually the coffee bar, which is a very strange place to have it if you're used to Carnival cruises, but it's there. There's the pool. Again, here is Rococco. So there's no red frog, no blue iguana, just this one bar up top. But all week, it was not that busy. There is another little bar on deck 11 we'll show you in a second. Now up here, we have Tomodoro on the right. This is the equivalent of Blue Iguana Cantina. They do more Italian. They do the regular burritos, but they do some Italian themed stuff as well. And then over here, they have the Guy's Burgers, which has definitely got some different burgers on here you can try. There's a pepperoni one, and there's a moots one. The super melty moots and the pepperoni pizza burger, they are not normally there. And of course, right now we do have the special for Celebration Key. I'm recording this in March of 2025. So it won't be new soon, but these are your options in the Guys Burgers. That again, they're slightly different to other Guys Burgers. So we'll continue walking through the main food area here, Lido Marketplace as it were. Here's your menu mate, very important if you have menu requirements or food dietary requirements. You go see them on day one and they will hook you up for the week to make sure you get the meals you need. They're always, well, not always, typically I've never seen them anywhere else, but they are usually on this area, the Lido Marketplace. Just look for Menu Mate, and I do have a video on that as well, explaining it in a bit more detail if you want to watch that. So we're just walking down here and showing you what they have. Drink station there, juices there. And now we can come out to the Vasilia Sunshine Deck, they call it. And on the right here, in the evening, this is Seafood Shack, but at breakfast and dinner, it is the Chicken Shack. But it's not Shack's Big Chicken. It's Chicken Shack, S-H-A-C-K. And they do some chicken breakfasts and lunches. Now, I'm going to be honest, I personally didn't think it was as good as Shack's Big Chicken. But again, everybody's got their own opinions. So this is the Vasilia Pool and Bar area. I'm going to walk you around here. There's the main pool, a couple of hot tubs either side, fairly standard back of the ship. Some nice covers there for the shade you don't always see. And there is the Vasilia Pool Bar, the Tides Bar as it were, and straight ahead here we have the pizza. And we're going to walk you down the other side of the Lido Marketplace before we move up to the next deck. Another drink station there. Plenty of room for seats, as you can see. And a nice sunrise, as you can also see coming through the window there. I'll show you that more in a little while. So as we keep walking through here, more food areas here. I do typically find that they repeat the front and the back, but the ones at the back typically aren't as busy as the ones closer to the pool area. So if you see there's a big line at this one here particularly, there was swirls, go to the one at the back and see if it's the same. But we'll come back out here into Tomodoro again. Again, this is the equivalent of the Blue Iguana Cantina, where they do the burritos and tacos, but they have a few differences in there, like they do a meatball subs and stuff like that. So now we're going to come up to deck 11. You'll see the roof up above. That can open, but they typically don't. There's the big screen on the left there. Now again, I missed it, but if you went through those doors, you had Camp Ocean for the young kids. This is the Pergola Bar. I apologize, that wasn't the Camp Ocean through those doors. I'll show you in a second. Ignore those doors. So that was the Pergola Bar that's only open during the day until about 3 p.m. or something like that. But extra seating up here, a bit more on the quiet side. Some games and everything there. Ping pong there. But if you go through the doors coming up on the left, which I forgot to go into, if I remember correctly, there is the Camp Ocean. Foosball there, but through that door there, that was where the Camp Ocean is. Looking down on the main Lido deck, another ping pong table. Unfortunately, kids always take those over, which is a shame. There should be an adult area one. Now coming back down on this side, on the right, you're going to have the Il Mercato, This is basically the deli. There's sandwiches. Your hot and cold ones there, but again, they'll have some Italian style sandwiches in here, some specials. Looking down, and there's the main Lido screen again, and the pool. So a very different look to the Lido area than you're probably used to. It's pretty much the same on Venezia. There are some differences, but mostly the same. So now we're going to come out here and walk you around the outside decks. Finally, daylight. Woohoo! And here is the play area for that Camp Ocean. Again, the entrance was through the doors I just showed you back there. But I missed it. Nobody's perfect, right? And at this point, not going to lie, probably wasn't going to start again. So we're heading back down here. Some outside areas, nice and quiet. If you ever wonder what these windows things are for, they are windbreakers, just in case you're wondering why they are there. Well, the crew again getting ready for the day. A few people out, but quite quiet right now. We're very lucky. It was a late rising crowd. Here's the sports square area. There's your basketball court. Well, your lower level of the sports anyway. There's some seats at the back. Looking back down again at the Vasilia pool area. There's some clamshells here. If you are interested in that sort of thing, some privacy, get them quick because they will be taken. Now you can see it's pretty much the same down that side, but it's also the smoking side, so I try and avoid that. But we're going to head up here to deck 12 now, where we have the jogging track. You will notice the funnel there is different. It's got a C for Costa, which they used as Carnival. How's that? Another foosball table right there. A few seats at the back to hang out. Here is the jogging track. 4 laps is 1 mile, so it's quite a large jogging track. Usually it's 7 laps. So I wonder how many people are going to run by me. We'll see. Another foosball table there and some more chairs. You got a lot of kids hanging out here for obvious reasons. Looking down into the basketball court. Oh, there goes one jogger. Beautiful morning, as you can see. Heading towards Cabo San Lucas. We did Cabo San Lucas and Ensenada on this cruise. You see the ropes course up above. Here's your mini golf. And then inside this room, coming up, on some ships this will be more sports games. On a couple of others it's what it is on this one. They have the warehouse in there for your arcade games. It was closed at this point, as you can see, so I couldn't go in there. But that is the warehouse for those young at heart that want to play games on the machines. Here's the entrance to the ropes course up here. Now they do not have anything like the Sky Ride or anything like that they have on Panorama. Who knows, maybe they'll add it at one point, but not right now. A couple more of the mini golf, but also there's the entrance to the ropes course that you will never ever ever get me on. I have vertigo that is really bad, and if you have vertigo, you know what I mean. It is not a pleasant thing. I would shrink and say I'm below that yellow line, which clearly I'm not, but whatever. In the middle here, they have a chess set, if you want to play massive chess. mini golf. So that's deck 14. There is no deck 13. They don't have deck 13 on Carnival ships for luck. They do have one on like Virgin, for example. They don't care. They have a deck 13. They're not proud. But a lot of cruise lines do not have a deck 13. So we're back on deck 12, walking towards the back here. There's the top of the roof. That would slide back if they wanted to. We were once told they couldn't do it at sea because if it fell off the runners, then it would be very bad. But we went into port one morning after a sea day and it was open on the Venezia. So, I'm not saying anything, but here's the Waterworks. And then we come down here from Waterworks. We're going through this door. We're going to lead you into the Cloud9 Spa and the gym area. If you stand in front of these and they don't open, that's because there's a button, a colored button you're supposed to hit so they open. So you've got cabins either side of you, but straight ahead you'll see the spa and the gym. Now I used to go into the gym and show you the gym properly, but now this is one place that does get busy early, and I would get the weirdest stares from people, like, how dare you come in and film me working out? And I get it. So I typically do a very quick look into the gym now, but I can promise you it's a decent sized gym. Remember, this is a spa, but the Cloud9 salon is down on deck 5. They've got plenty of good signage everywhere. So here is the gym. So it's going to show you that very quickly. And then so I don't get stared down, I'm going to turn around and walk back up. But it's a decent sized gym, I promise you. We're almost done. We just really have the Serenity deck to show you. And you've completed your tour of Carnival Firenze. So it's right about now that I think of my question that I always like to give you to see if you watch to the end of this video. And as it's Italian, we're going to go pizza, and I would like your favorite pizza topping. This is my test to see who actually watches this whole video. Usually I get about 3 or 4 comments. So for what it's worth, mine is mushroom and cheese. Weird combination, I know, but I like a good 5 cheese pizza with good mushrooms. Double mushrooms, lots of different cheeses. Don't need meat on a pizza, meat. And I'm not against pineapple, not on that, but I'm not against it overall. I know a lot of people are. So we're going to come up here. I'm going to cut you across here real quick, because there's one thing I want to show you. And that is, spoiler alert, there's the ship's coin. Ooh, I hope I didn't ruin that for anybody trying to look for the ship's coin. I should have put a spoiler alert earlier. But how could I hide that? If I said when I say spoiler alert, don't look, that means it's coming and you'd know it was there. But there's some seats there for some reason. I don't know who would want to sit there, but I don't know. If you want to sit there and watch pipes, that's your bag. All right, so now we're coming up. Now, if you went up these stairs one more time, this side only, you would get to the top of the Waterworks. It doesn't go up from the other side, which I found out. I thought I was going to do the perfect ending to this video and go up there, but it's not on the opposite side. So the entrance to the top of the Waterworks is on this side only. And we're going to finish you up, as I said, with the Serenity deck. This is for adults 18 and over only. And there's some cool little cabana areas on here. You got up early enough to get these with some little swings. Look at that. It's like your own private cabana for the day. I'm surprised there weren't already people up here snagging them, because there's not that many, but there are a few. Some more there. I like the way they have a lot of cover here. Good cover as well. This is the salad bar area. The Fresh Creations, where they'll do salad for you at lunchtime on a sea day only, as long as it's not too windy. I will warn you, if it gets windy, they close this area down. And this is the Spritz Bar. This is the Serenity Bar. And more seats at the front. And all that good stuff. Plenty of umbrellas, as you can see, for the shade. But not too many, not as many clamshells as I normally see up top here. There's a few spread around, but not as many as I normally see on a Serenity deck. Another hot tub there. All right, so you did it. Those that are still here, those that have told me their favorite pizza toppings. I wonder if anybody fast forward to the end of these videos just so they can hear my question, so they can pretend they watched the whole thing. I might start putting the question a bit further back. But you see, look, more cabana areas here. They actually had some with swing chairs. So, you know, pretty cool. Pretty cool. See there, swing chairs. Imagine if you got that for the day. Nice, huh? But you better get up early. Sun had just come up when I did this. So there you go. Nice look back at Carnival Firenze. That completes your full ship tour of the beautiful Carnival Firenze Costa class ship. This one and Venezia. That's very similar with some slight differences. Hope you enjoyed that. And now I'm going to pass you back to my closing notes. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.